Today we are looking at the Cambridge IGCSE music listening paper. We are diving right into section B, meaning we are looking at world music, and our focus for today happens to do with Japanese music. So we are looking at general world music from the November 2020 paper 1-1 past paper, and this extract comes directly from the Cambridge School Support Hub, which I have linked in the description below. So let's go ahead and look at our questions, then we'll take a listen to our extract and answer the questions accordingly. So this one is a very interesting example, and these are some of the more hard type questions I would say that comes up, and it could be very well that you get a table like this in a section A or a section B in your Cambridge music listening paper. So it's very nice to zoom into one of these today. And I always say there's somewhat of a balance in the questioning. So for instance, if you have section A, you have two subsections, A1, A2, one of them will sort of be a little bit more straightforward than the other, meaning that one of them will be a little bit more difficult than the other. And same thing with section B, with the general sections, B1 and B2, with our general world music, we will get a subsection that is easier or maybe a little bit more difficult. And then of course section B3 has to do with your world music focus for the year. So if you're writing in 2024, that'll be Latin American music, and if you're writing in 2025, that will be Chinese music. But today we are sitting here with our Japanese world music, and we have been given a table. So of course we are expected to listen, and then it says complete the table below to show what is being played by each family of instruments. One section has been completed for you, so they do give you a nice example. However, this type of question, anything to do with tables in any one of the sections in the Cambridge listening paper, always seems to be tricky. And if you look at the grade thresholds and the examiner reports on the School Support Hub, you will see that these questions are usually where candidates actually lose their marks, not gain them. So it's quite interesting. And today we're going to find out why and how exactly we can change that, how we can actually boost our marks here instead of losing our marks here. So they do give us a section of a wind family and a string family, and we sort of have to say what is being played there specifically. And if we can name some instruments directly, that'll be lovely. We only have a mark allocation of 3 there, meaning that, you know, we can mix and match over there, and we'll get there when we answer it. Where does this music come from? Of course, Japan, because that's what we're dealing with today. But they do ask us a reason why, and they do not ask it to us that explicitly. They say apart from the instruments that are used, because you had to answer that before, what features of the extract are typical of this type of music? So why would you say that this is a Japanese music extract? What makes this music typical of music from Japan? So that's quite interesting. We're going to have to answer it. And of course, section B2 only counts 6 marks. Not a lot, but you definitely have to focus in order to maximize your marks here. So let's go ahead and listen to our extract, and then we'll come back and answer the questions.
Now listen to music B2 and answer the questions.
Okay, so let's go ahead and attempt to answer our questions. So first things first, we're going to complete the table, and they do give us an example to say that from the percussion family, there is a small drum that plays repeated fast notes which lead to a low note played on a bigger and lower pitched drum. So now we have to say, what are we hearing in the winds and what are we hearing in the strings? So of course, when we first listen to our extract, we just have to sort of gain a holistic view of it. Where does it come from? Is there something I can glean from it? But then after that, you will have a pause, a moment of silence on the CD, after which you'll have 3 more playing. So it's playing 1, a silence, playing 2, a silence, playing 3, a silence, and then 4th and final playing, and then a silence. So if you really want to zoom into these sort of things specifically, wait for playing 2, wait for playing 3, make sure that you get to everything by playing 4 so you can wrap it up neat and tidy before going on to your world music focus section. So we're going to take another listen to find out what we're hearing specifically in the wind, or what we're hearing in the string. But of course, we can already answer question 13A as well as 13B. So where does this music come from? Yes, of course, it is Japanese music. Some candidates do get confused between Chinese and Japanese music. They can narrow it down to say what it's not, but then they get to these last 2, they sort of say, okay, I know it's Asian music, but could it be from China? Could it be from Japan? And when you're hearing things that are quite high-pitched, I would say yes, go forth and say Japan. That's very characteristic of Japanese music, but of course there are other musical characteristics that separate Chinese music from Japanese music, and it's just a matter of listening to as much Japanese music as you can and as much Chinese music as you can, and then you will be able to express what the differences are, and you'll be able to straight away say, no, I know what this is, yes, I know what that is. So what we're going to say now, apart from the instruments that are used, because we're going to do that in the table, which features are actually typical of Japanese music that we hear in the extract. So don't say things that you're not hearing in the extract. It has to be things that are heard in the extract. So of course, like I said, the high-pitchedness of the extract and moments of the extract, that's definitely a reason. So we need 2 reasons, 2 facts, because I do say that our mark allocations do, that they put in brackets for us. And we can say a few other things. So we have pick of choice. We can definitely say that this piece is a through composed piece, so it doesn't have, an A section or a B section that repeats, no typical form structure that we know. So through composed, meaning it goes from A to B to C to D. Nothing is sort of repeated, no sections are repeated. So this piece has no chordal harmony, and that can also be a reason for multiple world music genres. For instance, it could be a reason for why a piece is a Chinese piece, because there's no chordal harmony in Chinese music either. But for here, it is definitely fitting to Japan as well, so we can put it there. It also has a slow, free meter, and free meter is something that can also be applied to other world music. For instance, Indian music. Just an example there. And another reason why this music is so typically Japanese is because of that idea of heterophony, or the heterophonic texture. So it means that there is a melody and variations on the melody being played at the same time. And also, this is not just only a Japanese thing. We can also see this in the other world musics. For instance, Arab music, but also some of the others. Here we're just going to make it apply to why this extract that we're hearing is a Japanese extract. So yes, reasons why an extract complies with a certain type of world music could overlap a little bit between the world musics, but it definitely doesn't take away from the fact that yes, Japanese music has no chordal harmony. Yes, it has a free meter. Yes, it is heterophonic. We can put all those reasons down there and feel very safe that those are correct in justifying why this is a Japanese extract. So let's go ahead and listen to our extract once more. We're going to listen to the second playing, and then we're going to answer something about our winds, something about our strings. So let's take a listen.
Music B2, second playing.
we can go ahead and fill in what we hear at winds and what we hear at strings. Now, of course, the mark allocation is 3, and we have 2 sections in which we need to describe our music. So either we can have 2 marks at wind, 1 mark at string, or we can do it vice versa. So 1 mark at wind, 2 marks at strings. And we can even give a few more facts, or we can do a 2-2 just so that we are feeling safe and that we can get our 3 marks. Because like I said before, this type of questioning, the whole table format, does throw candidates off. So let's make sure we have more facts here, at least 1 more than the mark allocation, rather than less facts, or rather than just 3. So that we can actually make sure that we get 3 marks out of 3 over here. So first things first, under wind, I can really hear the reed type of instruments take hold of that main melody. So you can put down that reed instruments play the melody, and if you cannot remember the specific instrument names, that's okay, you can describe them here. It would be nice for you to at least throw in a Japanese instrument name under one of the sections, or at least throw in one name somewhere so that they can see that you do know what's going on and you do know Japanese instruments specifically, but you don't have to name all of them in the extract. Okay, so we're hearing reed instruments, and then I can hear the shore actually playing those background chord notes. So of course the shore is almost like a real life mouth organ, and that is quite an easy Japanese instrument to remember, and I can definitely hear it in here. So that's what you're going to put down there. There is also Japanese flute going on, and I can also hear a bit of heterophony in the winds, though it's very much diverse variants on the theme. So for instance, if we just want to say that we can hear reed instruments and we can hear the shore in the background, that's great. We have 2 marks there. We can get another mark at strings. Okay, so we don't have to say all of those things. We just need to make sure that fully we are hitting our 3 facts, but actually since we want to make sure that we at least get our 3 marks here. So under strings, I'm hearing pitches that ascend, I'm hearing rising notes, I'm hearing occasional plucked strings, and I'm also hearing arpeggios. So I think the strings, somewhat easier to answer musically. You would more throw an instrument name under the wind section, but of course you can also name musical characteristics there. So I would at least say put 2 facts next to wind, 2 facts next to strings, and you should be safe here, and then they should at least give you your 3 marks there. So I hope this has helped with your Japanese practice, and that if you do come across a Japanese extract in your Cambridge music listening paper, that you feel fully prepared and you're able to answer all of your questions.